talking about Grow Bristol, which is a startup hoping to obviously increase urban farming around Bristol, and he's going to talk to you about how he got to where he is today and his future plans and a few other bits and pieces. So can everyone introduce him?
So yeah, evening. So I'm Dermot. I'm one half of Grow Bristol. So I'm co-founder with my friend and business partner Pete. But I'm not a successful entrepreneur that can tell you how to make millions and exit and get the yacht in the Bahamas and all that sort of stuff. But what I can tell you is that we're really right in the thick of it in terms of a startup. We've been going for a year or so. We're facing all the sort of challenges and the sort of anticipation and the expectation that you will get if you start up, and so hopefully that's going to be a good lesson. So far, who's sort of read up about Grow Bristol before you came? So can you tell me what we do?
You do sort of small scale hydroponics technology, and then you try and incorporate it into to feed Bristol locally.
Yeah. So for us, when you sort of do your business plan and everything, the big thing, the kind of classic thing is who your competition. You know, who are you fighting against? But I think nowadays things are changing. It's about like who are you collaborating with, who are your partners, who are your collaborators, how are you going to get somewhere with other people, not just thinking how to compete with them, but that competition helps as well. So we're working with others who share our vision and help us get to where we want to. But how do you make money and then use that money for keeping your business going so you don't rely on grants and so on, but then also deliver all these sort of outcomes, social and environmental and economic? So the what, the how and the why of Grow Bristol. So Grow Bristol is about developing and demonstrating innovative and sustainable ways of growing food for all year round for the local market, and while doing that, delivering quite significant environmental, social and economic benefits, we think. How we do that is what we are putting together 3 different technologies. One of them is vertical farming, which is using the vertical space rather than the horizontal space that you would traditionally do in a farm. Is growing food in the city, just like houses, you need to grow up. Controlled environment agriculture, which sounds a bit heavy technically, but basically a greenhouse is controlled environment agriculture. You want to grow some stuff. Trouble is it's dark and light and hot and cold, so you try and protect that crop. Our form is to control as much of the needs of the plants as possible. So that includes we're growing indoors under lights. And the other thing is called aquaponics. If anyone's heard of aquaponics, some people have mentioned hydroponics. Hydroponics is growing without soil, and it's a very big established way of growing commercial crops, tomatoes and stuff. And the other thing is combined with aquaculture, and aquaculture is fish farming. And onshore fish farming. When you combine the two, some magic happens. So hydroponics is a chemical system, no soil, but you add nutrients to get the plants what they need. And aquaculture has a problem that you have basically lots of fish pooing and weeing basically, and that's a waste, and you have to get rid of that waste, ammonia-rich resource. When you bring the two together, the fish provide the nutrients for the plants, and the plants provide clean water for the fish. So we put the two together, we've got aquaponics, and we've got a recirculating system of nutrients, water. You're saving 95% of the water, the fish are feeding the plants are keeping the fish happy, and voila, you have 2 crops that you can sell. So why are we doing it? So this, like I could go on for hours, and sometimes I do about this, but I would argue that about 95% of the food that we eat comes from an industrial, chemical, agricultural system that is quite unsustainable and not fit for purpose. And while it feeds us, it's kind of destroying us and the world. That's a bit heavy, but you know. So we need alternatives in terms of the water use of our agriculture system. It's unsustainable. The carbon footprint is unsustainable. It's not adapting to climate change. Plus things like we're wasting a lot of the food, pesticides, all of this stuff. So we think that what we're providing is an alternative model to that. So we're not going to feed the world in our boxes or shipping containers or whatever, but we think that it's a real